Ahoy and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another fantastic day of LCO. My name is Papa Pike. Again, we got Skimmy, the main man himself, and Tally, the brains of the operation, joining me on tonight's desk. Gents, you're looking good. That's all I have to say. You're just looking good.
You're looking better.
No. You can't flip the compliment. You can't do that. I just take the compliment, Tally.
Too late.
Fine.
Already did. Flipped it.
We could just sit here in awkward silence for the start of the show. I'm cool with that too. I've got to that level of confidence now. But no, we are here. We have some awesome games wrapped up, but we need to have a quick look at some fantastic replays from yesterday's games. Let's jump into it.
Try and take this all down before the Corky ramping Gatling gun gets it done in retaliation. Nice sidestep there by Goodo. Make it a second time. Bro's been absolutely crazy with these moves right now. As Reneka rocks up to the party. Goodo is out. 8 HP and a dream.
You see Goodo invading here, and a really nice ult coming out of Praise, but he is Zoom.
He is Zoom, and that's all the money he has to offer. It does mean that Goodo will fall on down, and that's a bit of frustration because level 6 was found by Talia, and still Sovereign is lagging behind. He's just going to die, denied level 6, denied any kind of excitement, and a double kill goes the way of the out of mana Talia. Does anybody get away? A hammer and a dream, a shield and a die! He takes it in the end, they make it a 1-for-1. Culling goes out, has some low voice soaks as much as he can, and the Valkyrie into the face. Sovereign, what are we doing? It's easy then for Mammoth to open up the bloodshed by finding one. Green Fury jumps in a second time, knocks up 2, and says, team, do we have the damage to find the kills? The front line walks in, but the front line falls.
We'll have access to the 5v5s. This will get better as game goes on, as they are engaging into a trope, which is very good for Fury.
It will be, let's see if they can find any success with it. Nox is still the focus right now. The enemy spells and finally he flashes out to safety, only finds himself dying on his lonesome. Jumping across goes Gurek with back-to-back 2-man knockups. The sniper damage from the way from afar, not to get the kill, but Schönfire is there to save the day. With those items, with those breakpoints, can Theory find a way to win an actual team fight? Because right now Nox jumps in, he's so far behind compared to Schönfire. Just look at that scoreboard. So it's a 4v5 right off the bat. The Herald, forget about it, we go in for more. Schön hits a double and he says, I've still got them all dotted up, just lock them down, put them to sleep, and put this game to rest.
And Hooper has access to the flash and wants to go forward.
Sides against it in the end. Hooper actually gets tagged up instantly, cleansing out of that one. Does not want to get put to sleep anytime soon. Kurek jumps in with it, trying to do as much as he can. And that's so many members just burning. So that of the Lilia, the Leandri's value just through the roof. Double kill so far, about to be a triple.
And just like Sovereign, we're pressing the W key and going straight back onto the desk. And it's just absolutely beautiful because I'm going to get some more awkward silences throughout the night. Tally, Skimmy, it's going to be a good set of games today. We've got some top-tier teams looking to play it out. But are we looking for some more interesting stuff moving into it, Skimmy?
Always, mate. Always keen for a banger. Always keen to see these teams sort of show up and see what they have in store for us, right? We get bored by the narrative of being very top-heavy. We want to see these upcoming talents show what they have to offer and see if they can take the top dogs down.
That's exactly what we're looking at, right? We've got Ion versus Antic to start the night off right. Double purple looking royal there. Into the Direwolves versus Bliss. These are some big games. I think these are really going to set the tone for our standings. Wouldn't you agree, Tally?
Yeah, definitely, and I'm zoning in on Direwolves because I think that they had this, good showing last week where they have brought about an identity, and I think that as a team they're looking much stronger. So I'm excited to see that the games are much more competitive today.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah. I think we've talked about Direwolves and how they've really had a good showing, and Katsuri really leading that team to a big couple of victories, getting some good numbers on the boards. Do you think they might have a bit of struggle here, Skimmy, against one of the top teams?
I would say so, yeah. I would say that their playstyle, which has been very successful about rallying around Katsuri, I'm not going to say get exposed, but I think it will be matched and played against. So it shouldn't just be a free case of give him a Filial solution, 2 supports and a dream. I think, yeah, Bliss have far too many issues, far too many carries for it to be a one-sided affair.
Well, you've sort of mentioned the bot lane, and that's where I was heading to as well. I want to take a quick look and get your thoughts on the center Ornn that we've been seeing so much of lately. We saw it in, I think 3 out of 4 games yesterday, maybe even 4 games. But Tally, what do you take away from this? Is this going to be the new OS meta?
I think that Ornn is just a really good answer into like these, these heavy pressure bot lane. So, we're seeing it a lot, especially with the Senna. I don't think we'll ever see Ornn as a standalone champion. I think the champion you really want to look at is Senna. I think it's so strong right now, and there's so many pairings. Even if you don't get the Ornn, you can go with the Nautilus. Like we've seen the Scion, Sejuani's. Like they're even the Mage options if you do want to go for that. it's just a lot of flexibility in the draft. You know, being able to draft a frontliner, like play support, engage champions in the bot lane, another role where you can farm up and be strong. Just another place to get a frontliner from is just so big for, you know, competitive gameplay in general.
We saw Lemus as well, like really showcasing the strengths of center, right? It was those awesome roams, heading up into the top side, giving Tien everything that he needed to survive. But a KDA there, just standalone, is 7.2. So the pressure it's putting out, Skimmy, is it going to be a bit too much, do you think? Is there anything you could think of that might counteract this sort of level of play?
What it seemed to be the case, at least yesterday, was match the scaling with scaling of your own, right? We had the likes of a Smolder or a Kaiser be the comparison against it, right? So if you're scaling, I am as well. I'm not against that. I wouldn't be amiss to them having a situation again where we get the likes of a Jhin and it just comes out too aggressive, too strong spikes before the center can roam all over the map and become an absolute nuisance. So I think certainly the top end teams won't be as afraid of it. And if they do let it go because they're not blue side for whatever reason, I don't think it's as much as like a auto win as it has been for some of the games we saw yesterday.
So true. I'm pretty keen to see it. I'm hoping that we get a couple games of that, or maybe it's a banned out. Maybe Center's on banned out as well. But ladies and gentlemen, we got your favorite segment. Don't even worry about the games. We got the Champion Conundrum. Let's kick it off.
Is today the day Lux with you? Is it now your life could read you? Then you must play the game, cause I have to proclaim life's a game of chance.
Skimmy's got those beautiful money eyes. He's got his eyes on the prize, and you know he's flush. It's looking so good. Wait, hold on. Don't. Well,
Carry on. Continue.
Mathematically, I think the truth here is if I get this. No, I can't do it. I'm too cool for that. But let's have a look at the first conundrum as it's getting ready to pop up on your screen. Oh, okay. This is the math one. How much gold does it cost to buy these items? Okay, hold on. So we've got okay, so it's gonna be, hold on.
See, my problem is redemption has changed cost so many times. So like,
It's changed way too many
on
times.
it. So I'm pretty sure the Banshee spell component 1600, jungle starting item 450, and then I don't know, like redemption could be anywhere between 2.7 to like 2.9.
I want to say like 2300. I want to say it's like a super cheap support item. I'm just going to undersell it.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be about 4,100 is my total answer.
20, 23, 27.
4,100. I think that's my final bet. I'm gonna let. Okay, Skimmy, what's your final bet?
I'll go 4,000 and 4,250. That's my bet.
4,250.
I'm going to go 4,500.
4,500. Okay, let's get that answer up on the screen and see who was the closest. Oh! What?
Wait, actually, who wins that?
I'm closer.
Yeah, you're closer. You're off by 100.
You were 42.58. Yeah.
God
yeah,
damn.
Nice.
Okay, well, that's very. I'm very impressed by that. Again, that's not my strong suit. So let's get the second one up because I need to redeem myself a little bit. Not a redemption, but maybe I do need a redemption. How much gold does it cost to buy these?
Oh no!
I haven't seen Zephyr in. Oh man.
We've not had a game go late enough for an 80 carry to buy this yet, right? I'm pretty sure.
I can't. I can't do
why am I doing head math? I have a
bang.
computer.
None of the champions I play.
Nah, let's just count on our hands, because then otherwise the viewers will be like, he's cheating. He's on.
Alright, so I'll do it lower. Hold on.
My hands are up here, guys. No cheating here.
Alright, I'm gonna go.
Fuck out a random number.
I'm gonna go 6K.
I'm gonna go 6,100.
I'm gonna go 5,600.
Oh, okay. Let's show that answer. Let's see what it's looking like.
Oh!
Was the closest. Oh my God.
1K away.
I have no idea how much Zephyr costs.
Yeah, I don't know. I wish we'll have to get them to check that for us. But
I don't
everyone
get
in
to build
chat,
that
definitely let us know that. Do we have one more as well in here? I'd love to see that. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, stop it, man. These ones have like 50 in there somewhere.
Wait, this is ARAM as well.
Okay, it's a trick question, guys. It's a trick question.
Because that's Callista's item.
That costs nothing.
It doesn't cost anything.
I don't know. I don't play top lane. I don't know how much a tunnel costs.
I know how much it costs.
Didn't back in the day Brutalizer used to cost like 13.37? Like ages, like season.
I'm gonna go.
I'm pretty sure it's 13.50 now for the Brutalizer. Okay, so we've actually been given a hint that it is 1337. Stop.
I'm gonna go
I think people know what leet is
I'm gonna
these
go-
days.
3,487 gold.
3,000. Okay.
So I'm just gonna go 100 gold over that, so 3,837 gold.
He's cheating.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
35.
I don't know, man. I know one of them costs nothing. I know one of them costs 900. I know one of them's 1337. I'm helping you guys out. I'm helping Twitch chat out here. And Tunneler, I'm pretty sure, costs 1400. We have to put it up. Let's just get
35.
it. It's done. It's done.
35. 35!
Oh, he got it! I have to give that to you, Skibby. That was too good.
Wait, what did you guess? What did you guess?
3500.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was 3487.
Oh, that's cap! There's no way! No, there's
No way. Okay.
Hell
Oh,
no.
come on, man. This
Hey,
is my
has no
tiers, aren't
cost.
they?
This cost
From when I
emotional
lose?
damage.
This is free. This is Twitch chat's tiers. This is free.
Yeah, it's my tiers, man. How much does a tier cost? No, I know this.
Let's go. Let's lock in a 2,000 pennies.
Yeah, well, I was trying to do the
Jesus.
math.
Yeah,
and
that's
I
my roll.
failed.
That's my roll.
I don't do
400,
well. Congratulations,
400.
Tally. Good call. Good call. I couldn't do it. How much does this cost? Sus.
Huh?
I think Tally's been cheating. That's what that's about.
What does it mean?
A bit zesty on the
How much
stars.
does it
We've got
cost,
too many
guys?
S's.
How much does it cost? Okay. Riff.
Oh, okay. Now
Bad
this
jive.
is hard. This
To
is
Seeker's
hard.
Arm Guard. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So hard.
How much gold would you make from selling these items?
Okay. Oh, how much gold would you make from? Oh, from selling these items.
Nobody
No.
will get
Okay.
this.
How much?
This is hard.
Oh. Okay. Hold on. I know this. Don't talk to me. Don't even look at me. Twitch chat, look away. Avert your eyes.
I don't know how much money you lose.
Okay. I'm just gonna say it.
What does that
So
cost? Like 28
Seeker's Arm Guard
something,
selling
right?
it is, I think, 900. Costs 1600. Magi's, I think you buy it for 2500, but you sell it at 1900.
I'm just
And
gonna go.
it's 60.
I'm gonna go 1450.
I'm gonna go 3,350. 3,350. Skimmy, final answer, quick.
3K, bang.
On the money. Let's have a look at that answer. Oh,
1750.
this is making me
I was like, I
mad.
feel like it doesn't sell for that much. I feel like the diminishing returns, like, you just lose 60% right off the gate.
You guys were selling it for more than it costs.
I was like, hell nah, there's no way you're getting like 90% return. Boris is a scammer.
Hell no.
God,
He wants all the gold.
that was a good conundrum. I'm not good at that. I don't trust me with anything
That's
like
hard.
that. This is why no one can trust me with anything along those lines. But fantastic job. I think Tally and Skimmy, I'm going to probably say you guys tied because Skimmy got some really good close answers.
Nah, I'm pretty sure Tally won. Let's be
Nah.
honest. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
In the
okay.
name of competitive spirit.
Yeah, that sounds fair enough. All right, Tally, congratulations. But we have a
Tally
short
goes,
break.
goes trophy.
After that, we're going to go check out the next series. So we'll have to see who's going to be playing Ion versus Antic, who's going to take home that purple score. We'll see you there.
Yeah. B sound real playful. Let's see what I do on it though. Give me all your money, I want all your pockets. I don't do no cuffing, ain't no need to lock it. We been going up and we don't need a rocket. Pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. Only talk about me, I'm a trending topic. If you ain't tryna finish, then don't even start it. Whoa. Got them lifting off, yeah, give me that rocket. While I pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. High class, fine ass. Hustler, double C's on my bag. Rich trips just to make the time pass. Sip, go get him a wine glass. Talking about me, I don't even listen to him. Your diamonds ain't real unless they gotta glisten to him. Don't be posting on the gram, but they follow me. If I had a stick, I bet you he would swallow me. When a billionaire, that's a lot of bees. If I smack a chick, that's a lot of sleep. Got money like your girl, hit the lottery. And my ass real, yours clay, that's pottery. Stop it, please. Give me all your money, I want all your pockets. I don't do no cuffing, ain't no need to lock it. We been going up and we don't need a rocket. Pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. Only talk about me, I'm a trending topic. If you ain't tryna finish, then don't even start it. Got them lifting off, yeah, give me that rocket. Pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. You know I make it hot like wasabi. Make it hot. Yeah. You know I make it hot like wasabi. Spicy, spicy. You know I make it hot like wasabi. Yeah, get it, get it. You know I make it hot like wasabi. Winning got it made. I don't make my own bed. No. Don't be in the kitchen, but I make my own bread. Whoa. Blowing on my phone, now I leave him on red. I'm not the one, period. Write it on in red. I'm not your man, keep me out your mouth. Whoa, whoa. If he acting up, kick him out my house. Oh, I'm a hot girl, cousin from the south. Said you got a lot of money, need a large amount, and I can make it bounce. Give me all your money, I want all your pockets. I don't do no cuffing, ain't no need to lock it. We been going up and we don't need a rocket. Pop it, pop it, pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. Only talk about me, I'm a trending topic. If you ain't tryna finish, then don't even start it. Got them lifting off, yeah, give me that rocket. While I pop it, spicy mommy like wasabi. You know I make it hot like wasabi. Make it hot, yeah. You know I make it hot like
Here's the reason that Kevy's after becomes the Varus. Forced out of the stopwatch, it's carnage! Only triple happening here is for Python. Oh, it's do or die!
Get ionized! That's the hashtag this team loves to use. Look at Styx. That man is staring into my stall, but Tally, this team has been looking pretty fierce thus far.
Yeah, definitely a fierce-looking team, and we finally have 5 pitchers coming out of the Iron roster, which is nice to see. But I think this roster has been having, you know, really good signs of growth. We keep seeing, like, such strong performances in the early game, but it's still, like, once again, they got to work on, like, mid-game performance that we keep seeing. These leads they keep generating through, like, strong solo laners. You know, Styx doing really good jobs in his lane. They've got to work on that, you know, these mid-game performances that we keep seeing. You know, are they going to be able to close out against the top teams?
I think that's the big thing, right? It's a lot of those mid-tier teams, but I wouldn't even consider them that. But they've just been sort of struggling in that mid-game, like trying to get to objectives, at least looking for the right picks. But Skimmy, is there anything that you've sort of noticed in your time watching Ion?
Yeah, well, I mean, up against Bliss, yes, they lost 2-0, but they actually had a gold lead in their second game up against them, right? Obviously, it came to a bit of a abrupt ending. As you can see here, Violet playing the Caitlyn ended up finishing that game with a pentakill, but I think to get a gold lead and sustain it for what felt like the first 15 minutes is a pretty big order. So if they can bring that same level of skill and mechanics into today's matchup, yeah, I think Antic are in a very similar boat to Bliss, where they can be susceptible to losing.
That's right. We got this incredible lineup as well. Foreigner also was recently on Iron, but we're looking at Antic now on a whole new team, and this bot lane is something to fear, Skimmy.
Certainly is. Yeah, the return of Reiku, right? We've seen him out the gates originally in the Chiefs roster, took a break, switched around, came back together, and now looking to be as strong as ever. And I think, yeah, they certainly have shown degrees of that. We've seen the poke Varus from Raze a fair few times. But their downfall has been sometimes being up by these major gold leads, opting into a poke comp, and then just thinking they're strong enough to try and win a full front to back. Ultimately, I think they can find from strength to strength, because they've proven, much like Grand Zero, that they've added these new members both in the jungle and rather in the mid lane, in the jungle for Foreigner in this case. I think they've just slotted in really well. They haven't looked like the weakness, they haven't looked like they're out of place. And there haven't been any glaring mistakes with champion pools being exploited.
It's all coming together, right? It's like the glue that they needed to really solidify things a little bit more. But at the same time, Tally, I want to talk about this top laner. Zeronis has been looking so good too. Like, there's so many star players, but I feel like he's really shining this split.
Yeah, definitely, but I think Zeronis he's honestly shined every split he's played in. He's had a lot of rosters where he wasn't allowed to, you know, really be that star player, but like recently he's been on like top teams, constantly finding, you know, really good performances on, you know, blind picks, counter matchups. He has a really big champion pool, which is a rare thing for top players to have. But I'm really excited for this game today, because I think that the identity of these teams and like the way that they've been winning and losing is just, it's mirrored. I think they're both struggling in the early game. I mean, they're doing really well in the early game, but they're both struggling to close out leads that they're generating. So I'm really excited to see how this goes down.
Yeah, we'll have to sort of see what the teams actually themselves have to say, but I'm curious to see, what do you think could be the big goal here, Tally? Like, what is going to be the game changer that's going to give them that edge to really close out games?
I would say, me and Skimmy were talking about it a lot yesterday, is that, you know, we're at the midway point, so a lot of the teams are going to be picking their best champs from this point, and I think that Antic and Ion are both teams who have been, you know, playing a lot of different styles. We haven't seen the same draft come out of them. That's just a lot of, like, incoherent comps. So I think that, like, today we're going to see these teams pick very, like, easy to play, like, idealistic comps, and it's going to look like a very different, you know, mid-game going from that point.
Do you think there's anything, Skimmy, that you'd like to see comp-wise? Like, do you think we're going to see a Rumble? Do you think we're going to see the Ornn Center again? Anything that piques your interest?
Yeah, for sure. I think the buzzword today will be ease of execution. Don't try and make it too complicated for yourself. You've got the tank, you've got the engage, you've got the carry, you've got the flank, you've got the different damage profiles to all well rounded out and make sure it looks like a 5-man team as opposed to a bunch of individuals that are obviously very talented to make it to here. For Doraemon, yeah, he played the likes of Rumble, played the Kennen as well, right? So he certainly got that to try and, get the opponents here a little bit concerned about what they could bring to the table. I'm just hoping for Zoranus. It's not like the classic bait of like, is it going to be Cassante? Oh, I'm versing Cassante? I guess I play Twisted Fate, because that's basically being what Zoranus has been doing for the last few weeks. So, yeah, I'm hoping for their best brand of League of Legends to really hit the ground running now.
Oh, well, and talking about best brand of League of Legends, we have Hexflash from Ion on the call with us, joining us. G'day, mate. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you going, Papa Pike?
I'm good, mate. I'm really good. Now, Hex, I wanted to quickly ask you. So, Ion's been really stepping up of late. We're really enjoying the gameplay. What makes you a contender against some of these top dogs? And what's going to get you and Ion to PCS?
I'm not sure about PCS, but maybe for playoffs in top 4, we have a really strong top side. So, in jungle, hopefully, it's a slow development. So hopefully we can refine ourselves and be better into top teams.
That's good to hear. So you've obviously got a bit of a game plan going on. You're sort of well-versed. I hear your scrims have been going good, so it's nice to hear that you guys are really stepping up. So I'm keen to see it. But I know Skimmy's got a question for you.
Welcome back, Hayden. Good to see you as always. I suppose my question becomes, the talking point from yesterday was that it was Senna Ornn all day, every day. What do you think about that, having been amongst that yourself? Because I know in the past you've played things like the Cho'Gath with it, the Maokai. So obviously you're going to be quite familiar with this ability to flex Senna into any kind of pairing.
Yeah, the one Senna is pretty OP actually. Whether or not I will be picking those kind of stuff, I'm not really sure, but we might see an Ornn in the next game. Not for today though.
Not for today.
Not for today.
Gotcha, mate.
Okay. It's getting banned out, Tally. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. And to touch a bit more on, Skimmy's question, I just want to get like your read on the support meta in general, because we've seen like a good mix of Engage and Enchanters, but like our region specifically prioritizes Nautilus like really highly. Like, why do you think that is?
People are just worse in our region, so they get caught out more. Maybe that's why Nautilus is good. But I do think Enchanters are a lot stronger than Engage in this meta right now. But Nautilus has always been a stable support, for Engage. It's got 2 knockups, so just a bread and butter. If you need Engage, you just press ult and then that guy's dead. Just a standard pick.
Oh,
It's too OP.
it's too strong. It's too good, man. Well, Hex, thank you so much for coming on, dude. It's been an absolute joy having you on. I'm so excited to see Ion pop off. Like I said, I know your scrims have been going well, so I'm excited to see some good gameplays. Put on a show for us, mate, and good luck.
Thank you. See you guys.
Man, like you can almost tell, like, again, I've been talking with Latte, their coach and owner of Ion as well, and he's feeling really confident, right? He's actually feeling really good. I think they've had some really good showings offline, so I'm keen to see how they're going to bring it online, though, Skimmy.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they've certainly a team that sort of stamped their authority going into Split 1 last split, so I think people are quite excited to see if they can retain those levels again. And, the conversation, we keep talking about these teams being dark horses themselves and Fury and so on, so it's like a case of, well, you have these games every split against these better teams. How do we bridge that gap? How do you become that new potential that can showcase, there is more talent coming through the Oceanic grassroots scene?
I think that's the game today, right? Is they're up against Antic. They were contenders. They're second place last split. Tally, do you think that they've potentially got any surprises for us going into one of our top teams?
I'm not sure. Like when I think of surprises, I think of like Yone, stuff like that. Coming out of Jovi. So like, I think they've shown a lot of what they can already do, but like as a team, I think the surprise would be more like how well they can play, like how clean they can play the game. I don't think we're really going to see like any, surprise picks like a Vayne or something that would just, blow us out of the water, but I feel like it's going to be just how clean or how well they can play as a team that would be the surprising thing.
Yeah, okay. I'm pretty keen for that, honestly. I think it's about team cohesion. As we talked about that in the mid-game, need to get them synchronized and pushing the right objectives and pushing the right things. But talking about pushing the right thing in the right direction, we got Raze on the line as well from Antic. Mate, how are you doing this evening? Oh, you're looking golden.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing great.
Good, mate. Now, we're halfway through the round robin race. I want to get your thoughts. What have you been focusing on as you're getting ready for the playoffs?
I think main focus is just like figuring out the meta, like especially since I feel like we're just a patch ahead of everyone, so we kind of have to figure out on our own. And I think like that's one of the most important things coming in towards playoffs every year.
So is your team feeling a little bit nervous about it, or are you feeling confident that you sort of get a handle on it pretty soon?
Well, like based off my track record, I'm personally pretty confident, and yeah, I'm sure everyone else is pretty confident.
Oh, it's the confidence, man. This is what we love from Raze, right, Skimmy?
That's why he's won so many trophies, Spike. That is why he's one of the GOATs. What I have to ask you, Grace, obviously coming into this one, we talk about the meta, and we talk about seeing Jin and Caitlyn and all these champions all day, every day. There's something I've noticed about you, though. As we get closer and closer, and even once we get into playoffs, the Xayah starts to come out, and you become a bit of a 1v9 demon. Forget my team. I've got an ult, the Featherstorm. I can do everything on my own. So I suppose the question becomes, when is Xayah coming back out?
Yeah, she was meant to get buffs next patch, but like Riot pulled them back for some reason. I think she's like unfortunately in a pretty bad spot after the item changes, but yeah, I think she'll be back for playoffs though.
It's gonna happen, the Raze buff.
Yeah.
I'm believing.
I want the big Featherstorm. But Tally, anything for your fellow ex-teammate?
I guess I'd touch more on Pike's point, because you know, we're at the midway point in the split, so I want to know like how the team is generally feeling, and what would you like, how are you feeling about your team's progression so far? Like, are you happy with it, or do you think like there could be more that you guys could be doing? Or, you know, just overall, are you comfortable with this position?
Yeah, I think we're definitely like improving steadily, and that's the most important thing, right? Just to slowly improve and be ready for playoffs. So I think we're happy with the trajectory we're going at right now.
Awesome.
Nice.
Let's go,
mate. So, so then on top of that, are we expecting anything pretty exciting tonight? Are you going to pull out something we haven't seen yet? Without leaking?
I can't say for sure. Hopefully.
Fair, yeah, no, I know that I can never ask those sorts of
potential.
questions because I know it identifies way too much, and that's fine. But no, that little inkling, I could tell by your facial language, there's something coming, and I think Ion's going to be nervous. But mate, thank you so much for jumping on with us.
Thank you.
It's been great having you on. Can't wait to see you play.
Thanks.
I saw the wave. I saw the wave.
Is when Raze comes out and just slams like the Yasuo Alistair bot lane, it just 1v9s and goes, watch this, guys.
I could hear it. I could hear it when Skimmy asked the question about Xayah. Like in his head, he's just like, no, it's trash.
I just, like, every single time it gets to playoffs, Raze plays Xayah, he just wins, he can't get ganked, he can't die, he gets called out, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's almost like a land buff. When everyone's nervous, it's like, oh, I've got this escape button, it's a second cleanse.
Easy. It's no stress. But we have side select ready to go. Let's have a look at what these teams decided to play today.
Whoa.
Tally, it's blues all round again.
Yeah, I think this is just going to be the story going forward. Like, I think after we've watched other regions play, you know, we see, well, their first pick in this champ, it looks so broken. We can do the same thing in our region. It's just a lot of, like, the Corki priority, Skana priority. Like, and if you don't want to pick those, you can just pick a random Cassante if you want, you know, just what we've seen in the past. And so just, like, really protect your bot lane. And there's a lot of, like, Lucian Nami priority. So I just feel like it's going to be all about blue side going forward.
Lucian Nami, I'm putting the call out again. We didn't see it yesterday. I'm going to say my call transcends both days. Nami's looking pretty good. I'm hoping for a Lucian Nami. But I'm thinking that Corki as well, Skimmy. That Corki. We only saw it once. We saw it on Sovereign. It definitely had a good showing. I had a little inkling at him, and I hope he heard that. Do you think we might be seeing that again today if it is a priority pick?
I think it's certainly a position for Corki to come into play. I'm not sure which side would feel more obliged to take it. Like, if I think of Jovian and Curcio, I think of aggression. I don't think Corki fits the bill as much to that kind of play style. Maybe in the bot lane, but I have a feeling like Styx and Raze would much more prefer, you know, your classic crit scalers, be it the Jin, the Caitlyn, the Draven, anything that gets a lot more aggression in the laning phase. So yeah, I think Corki might be there, but I'm almost believing it won't.
Almost, but maybe not. But talking about aggression, right? I want you guys and everyone in Twitch chat to aggressively put your channel points into this match. You've got to support your favorite team. Is it going to be Ion or is it going to be Antic taking home the dabs? Because it's all we want to see, and we want to see all those points magically transfer back onto your account. It's the best way to go. So pop it in. I already said I'm not going to be placing any of those points into anything because I'm stacking for the finals. And then I'm going to drop a big fat stack right at the end. But I don't know about you guys. Do you have any plans to drop some?
I got big fat 0 left.
Yeah, that's right.
Probably just wait until finals as well. I always have Twitch chat open, and then I always forget to do it because of the delay. That's what I say every single time, right? So maybe I'll just come to playoffs where there'll be a situation where I can.
Well,
maybe I'll have like 100,000 by then. Who knows?
Who knows? It's stackings for days. But we have our predictions. Let's have a quick look at it and see what we've all bet on for today's games. And this is the fun upset. This is what we've all been waiting for. And I think we'll all be a little bit pleasantly surprised because I know I went a little bit different. Tally went a little bit different. Skimmy went a little bit different. But we'll have to see what it is because we're just waiting for it.
A little bit different.
But we all went with something a little bit. It's the first time in a while. I've gone Ion. Skimmy's gone Antic. Tally's gone for a draw. And then Twitch is just off in their own land. But okay, Tally, let's start with you. Why have you gone for a draw?
Well, I think we're seeing the same case over and over again every day. It's like both teams pick blue side, and I think that, you know, based on how strong each team looks when they get their, you know, respective comps that they're comfortable on, I feel like if, you know, the one team that plays blue side gets their comfortable game, then the next team plays blue side gets their comfortable game. That's why, you know, I'm going for the draw because I feel like both teams have, you know, strong points in their players, like where you want to like really focus, make sure they're ahead. And I wouldn't really say that like it's like I wouldn't go one team because I'm not too comfortable about like you know, oh, we're gonna play on red side against what they prepared, and you know, we're ready for that.
Ben Sitting's a hard job there, Tally, if I'm being honest. It's a big one, but I know I'm going to let Skimmy just explain it because we have a game ready to go, so I'm just going to get out of here, let you guys take over. Congrats, enjoy.
Oh, thank you very much there, Pike. Let's load ourselves into this one then and get to see what we have on our screens to kickstart yet another day of the LCO. A Draven ban goes out, so there's that Raze classic no longer available for the taking, and the center being hovered with everything else off the table. It should come as no great surprise for ourselves and everybody at home watching that center may just be the go-to again.
Yeah, and well, of course we have to pay the Draven tax against Raze. 100% ban rate against him so far. I think the center does fit the Ion playstyle a lot. You know, we see Styx varying a lot of the, you know, the more like utility playstyle, 80 carries in Jhin and Varus, and like this will be his third unique pick in the center if that does go towards him. So it does make sense about how they would like to, you know, identify as a team. I assume it'd be like the Norlis pairing that we were talking about before coming out of draft. But, you know, they also have the options in the Ornn or whatever they would like. That's the great thing about center, is you just have so many options to pair with it. Curious to see though, you know, what they do want to like look like as a team. Is it just going to be the classic front to back for both teams that we're going to see?
It's a good question, yeah, because they've obviously gone for the Rumble as well as the Nautilus, letting the Ornn go through. They don't really feel too concerned, basically saying to Ion, you need to pick it now, or we may just ban it away in that next rotation. But for Zoranus, never ever played Rumble before. It's not a champion I kind of associate with him, and maybe this is a specific week of practice to say, Doraemon loves this champion, I need to get comfortable with it.
Well, I would say Zoranus he's a proficient Rumble player, like based on solo queue and scrims I've had against him in the past. Like he does play the champion. Like unfortunately, he's never been able to pull it out. If this is the case, that it is being his first game. So very nice to see that like he's expanding his huge pool even more. But something to touch on as well is that Senna has always struggled into dive, and you know, locking the Rumble ult and Nautilus ult straight away is a very good answer to this champion who's just having so much success right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you can understand why obviously they went for then the Vi and the Skarner ban, because they wanted to try and deny those diving options, but you can't ban it all. And they don't go for the Ornn, so Talia as well as the Cassante getting locked in here. Antic then have all the time in the world to consider what their third option could be before we go into that second ban rotation. Does it almost seem too premeditated that an Ornn ban will be coming out from the Antic side, or is there a bit of mind games about it and say like, no, we'll let you have that champion because it allows us to ban something else, which benefits us even more?
I think based on what Antic has shown, they're not too worried about, you know, the Ornn pairing, but if they do decide to remove both Ornn and another pairing with Senna, I assume Iron have thought about that in draft, and they have a third pick that they're thinking about right now, so I'm curious to see what that is. I do like, you know, Antic's choice right now. They're really going for that front-to-back heavy playstyle, because when you're versing Senna, a lot of lane's going to be about scaling. It's very unlikely you're going to pair a Senna with like an 80 carry and play that double range bot lane, because it's so hard to do that into Nautilus plus a ganking jungler.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal, as you say. I love, though, the fact that we do still continue to get this Incursio Katarina ban. He'll say to us, look, assassins aren't too proficient in the competitive landscape, and so many conditions need to be met before I can safely pilot that one, but it's always nice to know that you're going to go into a ban phase and that, you know, one less option is taken off the cards. Ornn as well as the Tom Kench. So all these really premier options to partner with the center have been removed, but it's kind of why I mentioned the Hexflash before. You know, what would you pair with it? Because you've played the Cho'Gath, we've seen the Scion, we've even had the Wukong as a pairing in the past, and it feels like we're kind of heading in that direction.
I personally think the Cho'Gath pairing is really, really good. It's just like you're able to farm if you're getting zoned. It's probably one of the better scaling tanks in the game. They do have the option to also go for the Scion. They just need to pick some sort of front line to really enable this Talia, enable this center to do as much damage as possible. I think, you know, with the damage profile we're seeing out Antic so far, they won't really be able to deal with, you know, these huge front lines coming out of the Cassante plus whatever tank they decide to go pair with it so far.
Well, they've gone for the Jarvan, so it really is a case of you've got a squishy champion, you can partner it with anything. We have so much dive and so much damage behind it. And I just see a classic from Raze, right? Aphelios with a front line. It's a pentakill waiting to happen.
Yeah, definitely. I really, really like the Jarvan. One of the reasons why Jarvan fell in the meta is, like, you know, you can't play into Thresh. Thresh is always has the option to come out, play with the Lantern, deny the Cataclysm, but because you can't really pick Thresh here, it's you just, you know, you want to pair a tank with the center. It's so hard for Sen and Talia to play the game when you don't have Flash. You know, the Cataclysm will come down, the Rumble will come down, the Aphelios will come down. There's just so much damage, it's just unavoidable for you at that point, and it's just going to be much easier for Antic to play team fights when Iron doesn't have access to the summoners.
That it certainly is. As you say, it's going to be a case of really keeping that one on check and making sure they can punish whenever an opportunity presents itself. The Maokai comes out. Another one of those premier options that we failed to mention before with the center was the go-to for such a long time. Received a few patches to try and make it less desirable in that position. But it is going to fit the bill here, offer them a little bit extra engage to combine with the Talia, and then a Viego to round it all out.
Yeah, very, very standard front-to-back comp coming out of Iron. They have the double frontliners, their mage, their AD carry, and then Viego, very underrated champion to dive comps. You know, once you get that one reset when the enemy team is diving into you, you can really take over the game. Because as Viego, you don't want to be possessing, like, you know, the squishy Soraka support. As we do see the Akali come out of Incursio. So I know this is a race-specific call-out because in the past, you know, playing with him, he would always complain about Akali as center. You can't do anything to this champ when it's diving you. Like, your entire kit does nothing into Akali. And Akali is one of the best, you know, follow-up dive champs to deal with these squishy champions. So I really like the Akali pick coming out of Incursio. This is one of his assassins that he's very proficient on as well.
And it's what we've been begging to see come out from Curcio for such a long time, right? We know he plays the assassins, we want to see it, and finally we are given an opportunity for that to be present. So I suppose the other option would have been, you know, a backline control mage like the way that was hovered there as well. But I do like this commit to say, you know, you've got the center front to back comp. We are just pure dive in your face, and we believe we have the better mechanics to make sure it executes, and that you get almost a little bit angsty about, like, oh, where are they coming from? Have we watered that bush? Do we know where they're going to be flanking from? Because obviously that's what allows Antic's comp to just truly come online.
Yeah, and I really like both comps. They tick my boxes, Gimme. You know, we have the side laners, we have the engage, we have the ability to wave clear in mid. We're good grouped, we're good side lane. There is no, like, clear weakness coming out of either comp, so I really like both drafts coming out of both teams, but I would have to give it to, you know, the Antic side, because once again, I think the Jarvan can really punish these carries when they don't have summoners.
It almost seems to me as if it's a case of, all right, we've had our fun, much like we've been saying, right, this week especially. We've had our fun, we've tried things out, but now let's play our best brand. You know, you've got Aphelios for Raze, you've got Draku for Nautilus, you've got, you know, the Akali Assassin Dive Champion, and then you've got the ability to combine that elsewhere on the map, like, obviously Zoranus gets his flowers too. I don't just have to be that Cassante Twisted Fate player all day and every day, but I'm really keen to get into this one. I'm curious to see what Ion can do, knowing this is all against them, right? All this diving potential. I think the Viego has to do well. If he falls behind in the jungle, it could be a little bit doomed. We know just how strong a Viego can be amongst the chaos to pick up all those low HP members.
Yeah, definitely. As we do see, you know, the 5-man stack going straight to bot lane, so Antic are prioritizing, you know, their bot lane control. The ward does go down, so they're going to be spotted. This means that, you know, if Iron want to walk in topside, drop wards to get a clear vision of where Foreigner will be starting. And, you know, if Jarvan is tracked in the early game, it's so much easier for these, you know, mobile laners to navigate these early ganks that could come out of Jarvan.
What is your favorite version of Jarvan? Because we've seen so many different styles, right? It'd be like a 2-camp clear into a gank, a level 3 rush. Very rarely do we see a level 6 full clear before we go in for our first fight. But do you think it kind of changes things a little bit, knowing that you're going into a Viego that wants to be active as well?
I'd say my favorite iteration of Jarvan is definitely the Balkan level 2 gank Jarvan meta. I think that, you know, when I think back about Jarvan, it's when he has pressure on the map early, he can really take over the game. I never think of Jarvan as the champ who wants to just full clear, just cycle these camps all the time and just, you know, go into the team fight 0-0-0. He definitely can do that because his main job is to just cataclysm the carries and make sure he blows summoners. But Jarvan wants to be on the map as much as possible. He is so strong in the early game. He has one of the better kits in the game for the level 2, level 3 ganks. But once again, we talked about it yesterday. when these junglers gank early, it is so hard to get back in the, the next 4 or 5 minutes when you're just behind tempo all the time.
That's exactly right. Yeah, if you fail that gank, if the time is wasted, obviously so much free information for your opponents to utilize, and in many cases that was a jungle camp stolen or a camp or even an objective started up that you have no way to answer back towards. So we'll have to wait and see how Foreigner decides to play this one. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, you can see a classic wrestle to try and gain not only bush control, but level 2 priority. And there is the Nautilus tech again, just always threading the needle.
Yeah, the hitbox on the hook it's very large, so he's just going to constantly be able to just, walk in and out of the bush, land hooks, get a bit of harass, gain priority. Really nice, for the jungler to be able to path to a landed priority. It secures him, the safe side of his jungle, plus, the easy crab in the early game. Akali may be losing priority in mid, but she does want to be able to participate in these skirmishes if Ion does want to match bot side for the crab, but based on where Collie is pathing right now to the top side, more likely it's just going to be a trade in the early game.
Well, that's going to be my question, right? Talking of junglers, where would we like to see them try to influence first? Because I look at bot lane and say there's an abundance of CC there, and certainly to punish the center nice and early would put them in good stead. I suppose we can expand that point even further on a separate question and say, how does Styx want to navigate this champion? Because we saw for Lemus, it was a case of hang around in bot lane for a few minutes, then roam and just be a second jungler. But then we've seen other times where it's just sit in bot, farm up, and coast on through. So take it as you will with that question, Tally, as to how you want to answer it. We'll see what happens here, though, if Zorinus is going to actually make anything happen into Cole Lee, who does manage to get the blue buff in the end.
This is really nice coming out of Zorinus because, one of the problems with this, Rumble matchup that we keep seeing is, like, they get ganked early. They have to blow summoners. They're unable to really snowball their lanes and, just really blow up their 1v1. So, like, he finds priority on the first 2 waves, runs in the jungle himself, finds the jungler, drops a ward, so like he knows where he is now. He's forced Collie out of his own jungle, so he's a bit behind on tempo. His opponent's already finishing off the crab here, so he can already go for the recall if he wants to. Collie's down at camp, so it's just, creating little advantage to the rest of his team based off how his lane is going.
Speaking of those little advantages, you can see a fair bit of aggression found in the mid lane. As to be expected, right, this is really one of those matchups I was excited for. We've seen that Jovi is unrelenting in his ability to say, no matter what my scoreline is, I've got one objective in mind, and that is to find a kill and find it fast. As the Akali, no doubt, is going to be singing that same mantra as well. Popping our head back into the bot lane too. It doesn't look like much has changed. Things still be held in the middle with the Nautilus reigning supreme, just hanging out in those bushes.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the problems with the Maokai, is like when you get pushed in, your wave clear is very short. You can't really land the Bramble Smash from such a far distance away. Especially the gank coming to Doraemon. His wave is in a really bad position, but he has to fight this with his minion wave.
This is really awkward for Doraemon right now. He might even die before in comes the Flag and Drag. That's a nice little buffer with the flash to make sure it did land. First blood actually does go his way. We pan our head straight to bot lane, and it only goes from bad to worse as Raze picks up his first 2.
Yeah, Maokai may be tanky, but if you get hit by at least 10 Nautilus hooks in a row, you definitely will fall down. So they find the blue-purple gun combo, no cleanse onto the support, so it's a very easy CC combo. They get the kill, they're going to find the easy reset, they're going to get the buy that they want. And something else to touch on with the, actually I'll go back to the mid lane point after as we go into the replay. See, once again, it's just going to be another hook lands from Dracu. We get the root coming out of the Aphelios. It's just a very easy kill to pick up, He's lost so much health from all these trades that we keep seeing coming out of Dracu. But a point I did want to touch on with the, the Akali is, like, one of the strengths of Akali is you can really use your health to trade priority, because she, with the combo of her health regen, her fleet, and her Doran shield, her sustain in lane is quite insane. So a lot of the time you'll see Akali take these, like, 30-70 trades where she loses out, but ends up winning in the long run because the amount of sustain you have is just unmatched.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen in the past, right, be like, oh, it's the Azir Akali matchup, this is so bad for the Akali, but then it hits a certain point in the game, you're like, hang on a minute, the Akali is just straight smurfing it now. Jovi with the Weaver's Wall, going to try and block off the gank that Dracu was threatening them with. Flash for flash match as Hex Flash jumps in with a twisted advance, but I think he's overshot the mark. He got in it a little bit too early. They punish, they dive, but they're yet to find the kill. The center route connects, but only onto the minions. And in the end, Tally, a whole bunch of nothing.
Yeah, really, really nice discipline out of Dracu there to hold the flash as long as possible. Sidesteps the shove coming out of Jovi. Baits out the flash from Hex Flash and really baits for his team there. Incursio unfortunately misses the R2 out of the perfect execution, so is unable to find the kill into Hex Flash. So just a lot of nothing going on here, but more than likely based on, like, the fact that Ion is still a bit more healthy from the trade, we might see them pick up the grubs here. But with Zorinus being that diff in the top lane right now, with the wave stack coming here, Styx might have to blow his flash.
Look at that, that's such a good equalizer right now. Make it the Harpoon, shred that magic resistance, just burn you down with the Flame Spitter. Styx burnt the flash, but he just couldn't get far away enough. And you can try and go for those grubs, but you will just die.
Yeah, and this is the strength of the Rumble that we keep talking about. Like, why is this champ so strong? Is it You pretty much, your full build, when you buy your Sork shoes, you were going to do an insane amount of damage. You saw Styx have flash there. It didn't even matter. Zonas lands just a part of his equalizer and has enough damage to take him from 100 to 0.
The Harpoon, obviously such a broken element of that, right? Just the ability to slow you down, shred the resistance and say, enjoy sitting on that equalizer, buddy. It's not going to work out well for you. 2 grubs then go the way of Antic, having secured 1 at the very start of that play there for Ion. And as we pan into the bot lane, you can see Raze with the perfect weapon setup is able to do so much damage, actually take away 3 turret plates.
Yeah, this is honestly, you know, really nice job from Antic. We keep talking about like how they have these really good early games, but Ion is also another team who has a really, really strong early game in our league. But I think we're just seeing the difference in, you know, the comfortability when it comes to the draft right now. You know, I think Antic got all the champs they wanted. They were really sure of what Ion were going to play. They drafted really well into it. I'm not too worried for Ion though, because I think that as the game does go on, it gets easier for them. I think laning phase is the, you know, the main part where the bot lane will struggle, but you know, once they hit the mid game, once they hit those team fights, is where the Maokai will have a much, you know, happier time.
Yeah, we've certainly seen it happen time and time again, right? When they group up and rally around a Maokai, they can just really do no wrong. It's just a case of burn that ultimate on cooldown and see how the enemy responds to that. Vision getting cleared out here in the bot lane as I make a play towards that very first dragon, but Prono walks in and says, how do? You have no flash, you have no disengage. 2 members stuck inside the Cataclysm, and it's just easy pickings from Aphelios to walk in and say 1, 2, that'll do nicely. Sidestep your response as Collie becomes the Jarvan, flash across the wall, and you're out to be safe. No, you're not. The Heartbreak is there, and the double kill is found on the reset as Coley's trying to do it all on his own right now. Where is the team to back him up? There's nobody to be found. And in the end, he dies to a bit of assistance from a tower.
Yeah, and Incursio, as like we all know, is one of the best roamers in our region. You know, really abusing his Katarina timings to always find roams. So he's, you know, dropped the wave, and he's been the difference here for this roam, because if he wasn't there, Coley just clutched a really, really bad situation for his team. You know, Antic find a really nice engage onto Styx, no flash, so much damage. Might be a bit too far of his team right now, because if he does go down, and when Viego finds these resets onto these strong melee champions, like this is when he's able to take over these skirmishes.
Sad part about it, right, is the fact that Joey wasn't able to match that of the roam from Incursio. Maybe, just maybe, things could have worked out a little bit differently, but overall I think it's a really promising sign, right, to see that the Viego does get aggressive, does find some kills, and does, as always, find that trade.
Yeah, unfortunately, Draki, you know, KS is the killer there at the end, but it's still a win for Antic. They find the win in the skirmish. I would like to see both these teams start prioritizing the objectives a bit more there. I want to see these dragons start going down. We're seeing a lot of control come out of the Antic bot lane, and I think, you know, with the priority they get, with the waves they're able to stack, they should, you know, really start stacking these dragons, because I think it's important as a team as a winning side lane to, you know, really play around these objectives where they can find these flanks.
And I think it makes even more sense noting that, yeah, still those flashes are down, so how does the likes of a Maokai instead of respond to this one? Even a Viego, unless he wants to burn his ultimate to disengage, it should be a pretty scary situation for them to engage a skirmish like this, so they will just have to sacrifice it. Antic take full advantage of that one. Ocean Drake goes their way.
Yeah, easy as that. As I said, like, you know, use the priority, get the easy dragon. Ion, once again, always on the... They're on the back foot right now in the early game. They're constantly having to respond to the plays coming out of Antic. Antic has really, really nice vision control. Have to see if they're able to find this kill onto Raze. He does not have flash.
Yeah, he's in a lot of trouble with his Raze this time. He knows that he's going to be resigned to death on this occasion here. Tries to trade back into Styx, who gets dangerously low. Oh, what a flip! Really nicely done there by Jove. He does force at the flash in the end from Dragku, which is the saving grace, but it's a great rotation, and Ion do finally answer back.
Yeah, really nice roam coming out of Ion. I think that Antic probably felt a bit too comfortable with how much vision control they had there on the bot side, but it's just a very easy, you know, use the center, you get the speed up, get the root onto Raze. Even though he does have cleanse, it doesn't matter into Maokai, because, you know, he's got multiple forms of CC, and you don't have flash. He's going to have to lock you up long enough for his team to follow up.
Well, their flash is being back up and available very shortly. Styx not too far away as well. Maybe that just turns the tide of that bot lane back in their favor, because it was starting to go against them, right? The fact that Raze had 3 kills to his name, but already had that BF sword and was so far ahead of the Maokai, who is actively farming compared to that of the center. There's actually full stay lane swap, which is interesting to note. 10 minutes into this one. Next set of Void Grubs are up and available. Having just spawned now, and is going to be matched by Ion 2.
Yeah, curious that Antic are the ones who initiate this. I assume they were thinking, you know, we can go topside, contest the Grubs, and Rumble can, you know, ult the wave. They can't really trade them to us, because Aphelios can hit the turret in the 1v1 scenario. But something to note here is that Hex Flash has access to the teleport, so if he wants to drop wave spot, you know, just give all that golden experience to Zorinus, he can really impact the team fight that might happen topside.
He certainly can. How much is he willing to sacrifice before this fight breaks out, though? If he gets low from just straight trading into the Rumble, then that TP doesn't really find as much success as it could do otherwise. Infinite vision now to be cleared out in favor of Antic, as they make their march towards that second spawn of the Grubs, and Curcio holding it down in the mid lane too, and Doraemon and Cole Lee just hanging on the outskirts, waiting to see what Antic decide to do next. All about positioning.
Yeah, the flashes are coming back up for Ion, so if they do want to contest this, Sticks can, flash the Cataclysm, get to safety, but it's all about, Zoros and Curcio right now. These Solitaires are so strong, they have, their mini spikes. I see the flash in coming out of Jovi.
There certainly is. There is them looking for the equalizer, getting a fair bit of damage. Dawnly Shadow goes out, denies Zorinus with the kill. He wanted to try and find Zorinus, gets the flame spitter, but can't find the damage. Just too close to the turret. Inside the Cataclysm, and Curcio forced to flash out the safety. In jumps Doraemon, trying to hunt for the Akali. Diving underneath the tower, and Tofo strikes denied. The tower gets it done. And in Curcio, just such a juicy bait that forces out a winning fight.
Yeah, and I think we saw the same story from both top laners. There's a bit of an overextension, diving to try and kill the mid laners, like a bit of misplay out of both top laners, so they fall down. But like once again, Antic are going to win these skirmishes. Their team is so much better in these really, risky, micro scenarios where like the Akali and Rumble can really shine. If you go into the replay, once again, we see Jovi flash in to try, find the flick onto the rooted in Curcio, but unfortunately, right into Zorinus' face. And like we don't want to be in front of Rumble. The amount of damage he's going to output at this point is insane.
See frustration for Zominus though, right? The fact that he burns double summoners, Ignite, Flash, tries to get Jovi, he just limps away. But his fight is done by this point. And on the tail end, right, it's just craziness really, for lack of a better word, from Doraemon. Like, I will get you at any case. I need gold.
Yeah, payback from Solo Q for the amount of times that Incursio has assumedly roamed on him. But, I think Jovi is having a very nice game. He's having a quiet game, unable to really impact the early game because he wants to be able to, play safe, save his flash. He's afraid of the Jarvan gank potential. But, once he finds these items, he hits that mid game. This champ is very, very good into dive comps. He's going to do a really good job into the Akali, into the Jarvan in the 5v5 scenario. So, as long as he is on the clock, keeping up in CS, keeping up in experience, he's going to be very happy this game.
Well, let's see then what really materializes from that situation. 14 minutes, not too far away then. Turret plates drop, and the gold lead will then settle with a 3k lead in Antic's favor. That has really been the story of their split so far, right? They've had gold leads, they've combined it from the early game into the mid game, and in many cases we've seen them get up to close to 10k ahead. But the weakness, basically for both teams, I think would ring true, is the ability to close things out. You can see right there, top of the charts will be raised with the most gold in the game. So it's not too far behind, but it is Jovi leading the line for Ion. Yeah,
and to touch on the point about, the struggle to really close out these games, I think that goes to how both teams were drafting. A lot of their early game leads were coming from the fact that they were drafting such strong early game champions who just, weren't able to perform against these like bruisers and tanks in the mid-late game. But, we're seeing from both teams very standard front to back, like hyper-scaling champions. So I think that, the fact that Antic was able to get a lead, they're going to be much more comfortable in this game than they were in weeks past, based on the fact they have such nice scaling in the Aphelios, in the Akali, in the Rumble.
It's a good identification, right? The woes of last few weeks may just be dismissed now because that was all experimenting, and now it's all about refinement, right? Get yourself match fit for those playoffs, which both teams, I think, at this stage would feel confident about achieving. And certainly the newcomers that are causing these other teams to get a little bit concerned. Double ults being burnt, and Jovi's like, well, that's nice, but look how far away I've gone.
Yeah, that's one of the nice things about the Talia ult, is even if you were to take damage while, riding your wall, you're not going to instantly pop off. You're going to, unless it's, straight up CC, if you're going to get auto attack, you're going to keep riding until you pop off later on down the line. So really nice by Jovi to recognize he's in trouble, he needs to get out of there, because there's no TPs coming out of his team. The map is split. Unfortunately, like, he is the weak side, which is unfortunate as the mage, because usually you want to be in the position that Doraemon is in right now with your entire team enabling you to get as much gold as possible.
And as we saw, he had the most gold on his team, right? So he certainly doesn't want to lose that strength anytime soon. Equalizer going to trim that wave and deny Ion from looking to find much more here in the top lane. So, no need for him to stick around as, yes, we have ourselves a Chemtech Soul to look forward to this game. 2 Drakes so far in Antic's possession. What do we rate of the Soul in this this game?
I would say the extra resistances are pretty nice. I think that if Ion is able to pick up this dragon, we get the 4 dragons, I think it'll be very nice for them because a lot of the damage mitigation will come out and they'll be able to survive just that extra bit longer in these team fights, which will be the difference between winning and losing. I think that, if overall for Antic, they don't really want this Soul. Obviously you always want the Infernal, you want the Hex deck, you want to be able to, do as much damage as possible when you have these like burst champs in the Akali and the Rumble, but it's still, a Dragon Soul's better than no Dragon Soul in the end.
Certainly is. We've yet to really have a situation in which teams have said we don't actually want to go for the dragon because we're concerned about spawning the Elder and flipping the game. It's never really gotten to that point so far, even if the games have been slowing down from weeks 1 to 2 to where we find ourselves now. quick check-in with Styx. I saw him have around about 70 soul stacks beforehand. I think you were keeping a keen eye on those centers yesterday as to whether or not they're on pace.
Yeah, I would say
quite happy with that.
He's around there. He's around on pace. Once again, we're talking about like that 5 souls per minute. So like he's just falling shortly behind that. But like as you know, we get into mid game, as he's able to follow his jungle around, you know, really like absorb the camps, absorb the waves, he's going to find a lot more souls than he was in the later phase.
Let's see what's happening here. 2 mid laners roaming deep behind enemy lines goes Incursio right now. Just going to flip on back to that Shroud and showcase that Akali is ever so nimble. Very hard to lock on down. Frozen Heart now completed by Hex Flash. Going to find a fair bit of value into all these champions, but will it be too little too late? The fight's going to break out. Antic favored as they take down that mid tier 1. They lock in place Cole Lee. The Aphelios Moonlight Vigil's not enough to take him down, but it certainly is to take out Styx. There is the double for Raze, and they might look to try and do even more damage onto a second turret.
That is so unfortunate there that we see Jovi rotate with the wall to, you know, get back into the team fight, but Styx, who flash out of the fight, gets completely locked off. He gets blocked off by his own teammate's wall. He's unable to escape out of the team fight after using his flash to survive the Cataclysm. So, you know, just a little unfortunate scenario where I think that fight would have, you know, really favored Ion based on the fact that they survived the initial engage, so they can come in and start cleaning up. They have the turret behind them, so they know they're not getting flanked. You know, as we do go into the replay, like we see the engage, really nice, you know, engage by Jack. It's very simple. Ult the carry, well, you know, CCing the tank. But we see Styx flash out, and like once again, everyone's surviving. The initial engage is going off, but we see the wall come out, and Styx is just here.
It's so tragic, bro. So much negative synergy in that occasion, right? You're thinking, come on, man. I thought I've just outplayed this, and I've lost to my own teammate. He might lose again, actually, because he's been caught very far ahead of the rest of his team. And how many times have we seen that, the split, right, where random supports walk off and like, oh, this should be safe, and then, nope, bye-bye.
Would you see if the Nort hook is able to land the Jovi here?
Yeah, she can burn a flash, but we're there to follow you, and there is nowhere to run or hide. Your strong point is now finally about to come to an end. In the end, there it is. 3-point strike gets it done. Cole Lee jumps in with a nice little stun, backed up there by Hex Flash, hooked the disengage, Draku running, and he does get rooted in the end by the Maokai ultimate, but should be fairly tanky, but certainly not enough to keep Incursio interested in this one, and will sacrifice his soul in the end.
Yeah, just good call by Incursio. He doesn't know where the rest of the team is, doesn't want to, you know, participate in the 2v2, doesn't have the ult, doesn't really have kill pressure onto them, so he just, you know, plays the sacrifice Draku, but they found that what they wanted already. They got the Jovi, they got the flash, and like the main thing for Antic going into these next team fights is the fact that both carries from Ion don't have flash, and it's just so easy for Foreigner to find these angles where he just needs to EQ Cataclysm. Even if he wants to commit the flash as well, he just needs to be able to lock them up, drop the Rumble on top of them, and it's going to be lights out for Ion in these fights.
It's such a bread and butter combo, right? Very hard to mess up. And I say, in terms of that, Zoras is being left to his own for what feels like a bit of an eternity. Obviously, Antic are forcing so many different skirmishes where not all 5 members are present, but it is opening up these side lanes to become that much more volatile, right? Where a Jarvan can just poke their head into, be it that or the Akali too, and say, well, you know, what are you going to do? Is there actually anybody there to match it? Because yes, we have triple TPs on our side compared to just the one of Antic, but it feels like Antic are running the macro right now.
Yeah, they're definitely running the macro. Like, another thing to touch on is the fact that I always talk about, like, you know, side laners, like how strong they are in League. And, you know, both Antic solo laners are so far ahead, respectively, so there's going to be able to get priority in the side lane. Ion doesn't have the pressure because their bot lane fell so far behind to be able to engage into the 3v3 on mid lane or even the 2v2 because of the amount of gold that Raze has right now. Like, we look at his items, he is so far ahead of the clock right now when it comes to how much gold he has. We see the engage going on to Styx.
There it is, Tally. The massive Cataclysm equalizer. Lights out straight away for Styx. No flash, no worries. You are dead. Double kill again for Raze. He knows no wrong on this champion. It is his comfort for good reason. Make it a triple kill as he waits for the shadows, given the quadra. Aphelios, Raze, pentakills, always written in the stars, but Jovi will deny.
He does have the flash. If the hook does land, maybe he can get the penta.
Has it expired though? Has it been too little too late? As the pebbles drop on the floor, Raze says, you know what? I'll have a crack in the end. Toad actually blocking the pebbles, but not the second one. Shut down found by Jovi. You could tell that he was so keen for it. He would die for it.
Yeah, really unfortunate. He goes for the flash forward, doesn't find the auto onto Jovi, but he does pop the root. So, you know, the gun expires on the minion. He cycles it out. Unfortunately, Jovi's just spacing because Sleet does have that range advantage on it. But once again, as we go into the replay, we see how easy it is to engage for Foreigner. He just finds the, you know, flash Cataclysm onto Styx. We're seeing Incursio coming from another angle. And even though his ult gets cancelled, look how easy this fight is for Raze. He's just pretty much one-shotting everyone who comes near him at this point in the game.
It certainly is. And if it's not him getting that initial burst out, it's certainly the rest of this team acting as a meat wall and padding them low enough for him to come in and play cleanup crew. Now we extend out the replay and watch the tragedy for a second time.
Yeah, and, you know, unfortunately wasn't able to pick up the Penta, but as we do look at the live in the bottom corner, we do see Ion pick up the Dragon, which is a bounty for them, so we're finding some gold back for the team. We found the shutdown for Jovi, Summoners being blown as well, so, you know, the one thing for Ion right now is their Summoners will come back up, so the next fight will look much more pretty for them, but have to see if Antic, you know, just want to start this Baron, because we see Raze with the Baron taking guns, you know, red, white, good night. He's going to be absolutely destroying this Baron, and I'm not sure if Ion will be able to make it in time.
But I don't think so. I think you raise a really good point, right? Yeah, they're still going to be down 5,500 gold, but they don't have the ability to really contest. And I think Antic, knowing that, you know, giving this gold and giving this time and space to Iron is not what they need. They need to be aggressive. They need to try and force them into bad situations. It's like, well, we dare you to face Shakas at Baron because we're set up for it. The Weaver's Wall goes out. Foreigner locked on his own, but he's going to continue that one, it would seem. Actually, in the end, disengaging off because the Baron's already been taken. They go for Doraemon. He's trying to do as much as he can in the all-out form. So squishy, so strong, but not strong enough. As a triple kill comes out yet again for the Star in the AD carry position. 12-3 now for Raze.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to see the beginning of what we were used to from Raze in our old leagues. You know, I think we're starting to see the absolute powerhouse that this player was. Such a nice team fight coming out of him. You know, he lands the sniper onto Jovi, solos out the mid laner as his team is just doing so much work, you know, which is so much damage, so many different angles, so much pressure coming out of the Antic roster. And it's just, you know, very nice to see such good coordinated play out of them.
It certainly is, right? There are still just levels to this league. As much as people want to meme on the OS region as a whole, there are certain players that have the pedigree to hold their head high and know that they have made it both internationally and have played abroad as well. TP coming in here from Doraemon, deep behind enemy lines as he runs from the Baron pit back to where his top lane began. And 2 harpoons, and he's not happy.
Yeah, 2 harpoons, and you are, you know, that's a Nasus with it right there. You are not moving. Especially as we do go into the replay, we see the setup that Antic has on Baron. We see, you know, Raze and Foreigner soloing on the Baron as 2-man, but very nice by Raze. He finds the Calibrum onto Jovi. You see him get soloed out by, you know, just 2 auto attacks pretty much, and he's gone. And from that point onwards, that main carry is dead, and it's so easy for Antic to just, you know, absolutely demolish Ion, even though they have access to all these summoners.
Maybe Jarvan is just the best pick of all time, right? Certainly has found success for them in this occasion. Styx, unfortunately, for the 6th time this game, has been called out and falls on down. Antic immediately turn their attention out of the jungle, straight back towards that turret. The Moonlight Vigil goes out. Could have found a route if Raze had wanted, but just knowing that they've been forced off is enough for them, right? They have the Baron buff still for another 60 seconds. And this gold lead, it is astronomical now.
Yeah, and I would be certainly surprised if Antic were unable to end on this Baron push. We see the flash coming out of Dracu.
See what they can find with this one, though, because the Equalizer goes out. Oh, beautiful! With the Foreigner engage afterwards. It's just so easy for the Cataclysm to find success, and finally, we are treated with an ace. It's a perfect one at that. Not a single member of Antic falling down in the process. And with 5 Void Grub stacks, with 40 seconds still remaining on Baron, for sure now, Tally, for sure they end the game.
Yeah, definitely going to be game over for them. You know, Foreign's having a bit of fun at the end of the game, as you do, but like once again, really, really nice game coming from Antic. I think Ion had an idea about what kind of draft they wanted to play. You know, they really want to prioritize the center with the tank supports, but you know, Antic was so prepared with the draft they came out. They disrupted so much dive, and it's so hard to play these immobile champions. It's such a strong dive comp that Antic have shown.
But they certainly did. In the end, it finishes, what, 26 minutes into the game with a 15k gold lead. All those woes of can they close out their games? Why haven't they in the past? Why is this team so star-studded, yet is struggling on some occasions? Not the case today. A huge, huge performance to kickstart this best of 2 to showcase that they mean business, and they want all 3 points tonight. We'll see if they can close today in Game 2 right after this break.